Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know where they think that if you're talking about a scenario that applies to a man and a woman that is different just because one gender is doing something that it shouldn't. Any human doing those types of things is a piece of shit. Lying, cheating, stealing, using. Everybody knows this. It's not new. I mean, she's cool though. I mean, goof off and talk to, but I don't know. I haven't really talked to too many people. Maybe I'm just happy to be talking to somebody. Who knows? I'm normally not like that. I don't give a shit about talking to people. At least I never did. Only if they did something wrong and they're going to hear it. Then, oh yeah. That's what I mean. Life is complicated and crazy enough without all this extra overthinking, over assuming bullshit added in. Yeah, bars are not a good place to be looking for relationships. Like husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend type thing. It's not a good place to be going to look for people. They already made a terrible decision. They went to alcohol instead of going to a church, which I go to church every day. Yep. Read the Bible, pray. Normally Saturday. Am I perfect? No. Do I try and be as perfect as I can? Yeah. Do I make mistakes? Yes. But like I said, most of my mistakes are not made where other people's are. And one chick, they all suggested, you know, that I have a party there for my birthday. And I was like, all right, yeah. It was actually one of the other customers. Me and him were talking about it. And one of the ones that works there says that her birthday is the 27th. And, could we put ours together? I'm like, I don't care. Cool. That was like the night before last night. And I go in there last night and I didn't notice that she wasn't working. She was actually sitting at the bar. And when I noticed, I was like, hey, aren't you on the wrong side? And she flicked me off. And not a, goofy flick off either. She had a dirty look on her face, which we always goof off like that. So I couldn't understand why that was. And this other rowdy girl is sitting next to me. When I came in, I said boo because she knows who I am. And she jumped and she said, don't do that. Yeah, I will do that. It's funny. What's really funny is when she was drinking and all that, I said, make sure you be careful. And, she's, don't tell me what to do with my life. Didn't you just tell me what to do with mine? But yeah, you're the one talking about a double standard, huh? Hmm. she she's in medical, taking care of people, and she also has another job. But it's like all these women that go into this medical field, they all of a sudden think that they're a doctor. You're not a doctor, and you better watch trying to run your mouth to somebody that's a parent because we have to be all those things. A lot of people don't realize, man. I started my life when I was 15. I was not living at home. I had my GD, my light, or going for my license and starting a career and paying for an apartment. I didn't live at home. And yes, as soon as girls knew I had money and cars, they were all over me. Which I'm surprised I didn't notice that until a few years ago. But yes, that's the only reason why they had any type of liking to me. I had blonde hair, blue eyes, and I worked. That was it. Yeah, man, I had my first apartment at 15. Uh, Worked for my uncle for over a year and a half. Moved back to Cecil County. Got me another apartment in Elkton 2 months after I did stay at my mom's for about 2 months. But I could never handle staying here. I don't even know how the hell I've handled staying here this long. Because I know, even though me and my mom don't see eye to eye, she's another radical feminist and doesn't hate her older son, but has an edge towards her younger son. But you know what I think's funny is she still talks to my brother's dad. She hated the one that she said was my dad. Yeah, that's a story I already talked about too. Yeah, the only reason they uh, closed the case and put my dad as default Neil as default is because he didn't know about the court date until he was already out of town working. He was in Tennessee working on lines. He was a linesman. Um, my aunt Yvonne and his mother showed up to it, and they ruled in my mom's favor because he wasn't present. Big difference. No paternity test, nothing like that. Now, when me and him did a paternity test, it came back that it was negative. So, yep, I still took care of the man, even though he was an asshole. And she was right. He was an asshole. But that's my sister's dad, not mine. I don't know who my dad is, which that's cool. I haven't known who the fuck my dad is my whole life. Yeah, my Aunt Yvonne got mad at me because I flipped the fuck out of my Uncle John for going to strip clubs. Yep. Fucking married ass man going to go to a strip club saying, oh, well, they're the only ones open this late. Bullshit. There's plenty of bars open until 1 or 2. If you want a beer that fucking bad, go to them. Or how about go home and get a beer? You have your own bar downstairs. Yeah, complete with beer meisters and any type of beer you can think of. But yeah, you gonna go out to a titty bar. Make me sit in a fucking van because you know goddamn well I ain't going in there. I get in trouble, even though I'm not doing any of the shit this man's doing. But I can't get to my vehicle because mine is left at the warehouse. Yeah, when he used to stop by the Gold Club, I used to go in and make friends with the pit beef guys in the parking lot. Chap and all them. I don't even know if that man's still around. But Yeah, big black dude, fucking good at cooking. That motherfucker could cook anything. Oh, I stopped him from a lawsuit because somebody drunk from the bar came in and they almost fell and hit their head on his counter. That's right in front of where you order at. And me and him were talking. I was standing off to the side when this person come in so they could order, and he goes to fall forward, and I grabbed his shirt. I'm like, "You all right? Let's sit you down." And sat him down before he fell and busted his face open. And ever since then, they they let me eat for free. Every time I came in and ordered something, they wouldn't take my money. I'd end up giving them a decent tip because they wouldn't take it. But yeah, they wouldn't charge me. And I used to talk to my fiance on the phone, and she used to swear up and down, "Well, how do I know you're not in there?" When have I ever liked or wanted to go to something like that? Well, never. Right. It's fucking sickening. It shouldn't be allowed, but whatever. Yeah, I used to make fun of that song. What would you do if your son was alone, crying on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? Yeah. Go get a fucking job. Here's an idea. Start watching kids. Imagine that. Start small, get a daycare, get people employed later on. There you go. You started a whole business off of what? Watching kids. Take care of houses. Fucking ridiculous. Snowball stand, lemonade, whichever, whatever. Well, that's not a real good way for it to pull. Yard sales, lemonade stands make more money than anything if you do them correctly. And yes, you're an adult. You can actually go hog wild and actually give your community something really good to have. A little snack shack. There you go. It'd be perfect in the spring and summer when kids and all that are running around and they want something to drink and something to eat. They could always stop over and get something cheap from you. And there you go. You're not really making that much off of each person, but you're making something. Then you get known as a little market. Then you get bigger. Today, with working at home and all the stuff you can do online and stuff you can do from home or home crafts that you can sell, there's tons of stuff that you can do. My mom used to gather dandelions for a guy that made dandelion wine, and he would pay them. It was like a couple of bucks for every gallon jug that they filled up. They'd go out there and fill up thousands, thousands of jugs. Just two or three people. Bring them in, get paid, have a couple grand. This is back when shit was cheap. You can still do shit like that today. You just gotta be crafty with it. That's what I mean. I don't understand that. That's just an excuse. And a terrible one at that. Go and sleep with them, man. Oh yeah, where's your kid at while you're doing that, miss? Oh, I can't take my kid to work. I can't get a job. Really? You're gonna take your kid to something like that? Well, they're gonna sleep in their room. Yeah, right. Every scenario I've ever seen, even close to something like that, where a woman's got a whole bunch of strange men, their kids are never asleep. Their kids see everything. That's why they have problems. They don't know who their daddy is. They don't know what type of male figure to freaking be like. Ridiculous.